Hello, beautiful people. Wonderful day we're having here in Hollywood, California. Today is June 16th, 2025. And following up on my last video, I would like to talk about Ascites. Freaking Ascites. It is the worst possible thing that has ever existed. You know, you think when you have like liver disease that it's just like like an old man disease, you get through it, you just get like a bad liver, whatever. No, it comes with so many other things. Ascites is when your liver cannot process liquids as well as it should. And at first I didn't know what that meant, but then one day I just got really huge and my stomach started hurt. Everything hurt. It came with gastritis. Gastritis is like basically like a bunch of gas and like irritation in your stomach. I don't know how to explain it. And then of course your pancreas is also inflamed because once one thing's wrong, the rest of the things are wrong. And ascites, man, yeah, it's like your liver is not doing its job correctly. It's doing the best it can with what little it has, pretty much. That's my understanding of it, at least. And then I began to get really big, and then my belly button started to get sore and it started to like come out. I never had an outie or an innie. Well, I mean, I had an innie, not an outie. And oh, I'm sorry, got distracted. Yeah, and then I started like growing. At this point I had stopped drinking, but my stomach kept growing and I was like, what is it, what's wrong? And then I realized that I went to the doctor and they're like, yeah, you have ascites, it's getting worse. Like, that's all like protein and excess liquid that your body can't seem to process. And that broke my heart, and I was like, I don't understand. He's like, yeah, we have to give you something called a paracentesis. And I was like, what's that? It's like when they stick a needle in your stomach and drain you. I was like, drain me? He's like, yeah. And then when he showed me the needle, it's about like this big. And it sucks. At first they give you a little bit of like anesthesia, and it hurts like crazy. You could feel it going past your like organs. It don't feel right. And then the second one is what hurts. The second needle, it's like gasoline being poured into you, and it hurts immensely. And then that's when they put a tube in your stomach. They call it a tap. And then you just watch this like yellow apple juice looking liquid being poured into these like little jars. They can only take away 5 liters at a time, because if they do more than that, they have to replace it with something called albumin. And then that's like a whole other subject. But yeah, you patch it up and you feel horrible. You're bruised up, and it's just bad. And then like depending on how bad your ascites is, they will either take it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Some people get better, some people don't. So far I can't tell. I get it weekly now. Yeah, I kind of got used to it, but the pain never goes away. It hurts, and it's embarrassing. And then my belly button got to a point where it started to come out of itself. And that's what I thought. It's called an umbilical hernia. And it's like, it looks like your intestines are trying to leak out of your belly button. And I have it. It's about the size of a baseball. And I have to wear a binder just to keep it in place. And I hide it. It's a big like insecurity thing. But my loved ones know. They've seen it. Like, they freak out, and I'm like, don't freak out. It doesn't hurt, anything like that. It does sometimes. I recently went to the hospital because I had a bowel obstruction. I don't even know what that was, but that's a whole other procedure right there. I could talk about if you guys like later. But yeah, it's just, I'd say ascites is probably the worst part. It is embarrassing. It hurts. You can't do much to control it. Yeah, even right now, like I'm wearing a binder. It's uncomfortable, but It's better than a giant ball of meat sticking out of your stomach. So if you can, try to avoid it as much as possible, my friends. You know, if someone is a heavy drinker, tell them, hey, it's brutal once you get to the other side. But either way, still sober. About to talk to my doctor right now. I'm just waiting for him to be ready. Showed up a little early, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.